pretty early on when I found out I was having twins, and then it was automatically a high risk pregnancy. Up until about 20 weeks, my pregnancy was pretty perfect, I'd say. Like nothing was wrong. And I developed, at 20 weeks, I developed cholestasis, which is liver disease of pregnancy. And everything just kind of, I wouldn't say went downhill, but kind of took a turn from there. It was about that point that I started meeting with Dr. Silver, and they were great. They worked with me closely, monitoring my depression and making sure I had what I needed. Fast forward to, I think it was like 30 weeks on the dot. We had just had our baby shower, and I postponed that day going to the hospital. I started having fluid leak, and the day after, I went to UPMC Memorial, which is located here in York, and they then confirmed that I was leaking fluid, that my baby A's water had broken. They moved pretty quickly from there. They flew me to UPMC Harrisburg, where they intended to admit me to the antepartum unit until I could deliver. And the first night I spent in labor and delivery just to make sure nothing went further and that it was like okay to hold off and wait to deliver. And then I spent 5 days in antepartum where everybody was wonderful. They were so kind and caring, and they made sure I had everything I needed to be comfortable away from home. And they let me know what was going on too, like what was happening with the babies, and like confirming that they were okay and making me just comfortable. I started having some like breathing issues towards the end of the week, and I remember they took me down for, I think it was, I don't know, it was a scan of my lungs. And like during that scan, I felt very strong contractions. And when I went back to the antepartum unit, they checked and they confirmed that I was having contractions, but they tried to give me fluids to make sure I wasn't dehydrated and some more magnesium. Um, when the contractions didn't stop, I met with Dr. I think his name was Dr. Maynor. He was quick and he was like, "We're doing the C-section. We're going to start prepping you." And I think within 30 minutes, I was in the operating room. And within the hour, my twins were here. They were really quick. The NICU came in and talked to me, which was wonderful because I was scared. Being my first babies, it was scary. The NICU kind of confirmed, like, hey, like we have high hopes for these girls because they had the steroid shots and like everything looked great. It was also comforting that everybody introduced themselves while in the operating room, so I didn't just like, wasn't like all these people are here and it was freaky, but everybody introduced themselves and made me comfortable again. The girls came out pretty good. Like they didn't have any long issues or anything. They just needed a CPAP. Pretty much, I think the first night I was helping change diapers and everything. I was very involved in. My twins' names are Charlotte and Noelle. Noelle. I was very involved in their treatment. I knew everything that was happening. They respected my wishes to breastfeed and like make sure they were getting my milk before trying donor milk. But I didn't produce enough, so they then did offer the donor milk, which was amazing. I loved that it was private rooms. I had time, like I could just go and sit with my babies, and I could stay overnight if I wanted. And they did have the camera to where I could look in on them when I was at home. They also like funded transportation for me to get from York to Harrisburg because I don't drive. And that was a lifesaver for me because I don't think I could have done it without seeing them almost every day. No parent really expects to have a NICU stay or to be in the antepartum unit, but it was all very comforting and they were all very welcoming. Miss Sheila and her team are great. I did end up coming back to the antepartum unit probably like February for a Xarelto infusion ordered by Dr. Silver and his team to help with like my postpartum depression symptoms. And I was amazed at how many of them remembered me, and it felt like I felt like I mattered to them, and it was nice. Very great programs, and I don't know where I would be without them.